a fairy tale princess in her ravishing gown of creamy white lace.
"26-year-old Alexandra entered on her brother's arm, both of them mindful of the father who'd not lived to see their happiest days.
With this ring I thee wed.
With this ring I thee wed.
With my body I thee worship.
With my body I thee worship.
And with all my worldly goods.
And with all my worldly goods.
I thee endow.
I thee endow.
Princess Anne was once again on hand. This time, she had a 20-foot train to deal with. Times changed as the 60s unfolded. The royal family continued to expand. Prince Edward was born, a playmate for 4-year-old Prince Andrew. And the older children were starting to lead lives of their own.
When you decide to get married, ma'am, whose permission do you have to ask?
Well, we started with father, didn't we? We thought that was the right way around to do it.
We started with Mr. Phillips's father.
Well, we started then because that, we started, in fact, with the families. But you asked my father.
How was that interview?
Well, it was, he was very kind to me, actually. I was petrified beforehand.
Did he ask you what your prospects are?
What sort of prospects?
Can I put one final question to you, which I'm sure everyone wants to know the answer to, and that is, have you discussed a family, or do you have any thoughts about having a family?
As yet? Oh, no, it's not too early to think about things like that.
The 1,500 presents went on display.
And for the bridegroom, a do-it-yourself toolkit. But the couple's equestrian connections aren't forgotten. Plenty of saddlery has been sent. Princess Anne gave her husband a set of dress studs and cufflinks she designed herself, while Captain Phillips's present was a regimental brooch of diamonds inlaid with a single ruby.
A chill November day did nothing to deter the crowds.
Can I take it that you've already taken up your position for the wedding?
Yes, I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning.
And you're going to stay here until the great moment?
Until everything's cleared up and say that's another royal wedding.
How many, in fact, have you witnessed?
This will be number 10.
Dating back to?
1922.
People had come from everywhere.
May I ask you where you've come from?
Toronto, Canada.
Especially for the wedding?
Especially for the wedding.
Once again, Westminster Abbey. 26 years after his own wedding here, Prince Philip proudly led his only daughter to the altar.
I, Mark Anthony Peter.
Take thee, Anne Elizabeth Alice Louise.
Take thee, Anne Elizabeth Alice Louise.
To my wedded wife.
To my wedded wife.
I, Anne Elizabeth Alice Louise.
I, Anne Elizabeth Alice Louise.
Take thee, Mark Anthony Peter.
Take thee, Mark Anthony Peter.
To my wedded husband.
To my wedded husband.
I pronounce that they be man and...
This marked a new generation of royal weddings.
As a royal wedding, the happiness of bride and groom is linked with that of the nation, of which they and all the people are a part.
The 70s would see the monarchy reach new heights of popularity as the Queen celebrated her Silver Jubilee. the nation rediscovered its appetite for street parties, last held in honour of the coronation. By the 80s, everyone was wondering when the Queen's eldest son and the world's most eligible bachelor would marry. And just as important, whom he would marry. One lady in particular seemed to attract more and more attention.
Have you any comment to make about that?
Lady Di.
No comment on that. Did you have a good weekend though?
It's work now, okay?
And in February 1981, it was announced that Prince Charles was engaged to Lady Diana Spencer. The public were thrilled.
You know the engagement has just been announced.
No, I didn't.
Prince Charles is engaged now to Lady Diana Spencer.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm very pleased it's been announced officially.
Diana's parents were delighted.
Can I say congratulations?
Thank you very much.
Earl Spencer himself.
Very proud and very happy.
How long had you known about it?
Well, a very few hours after it was, the question was popped.
Were you privy to discussions about whether or not it should be accepted?
I'd be a very abnormal mother if I wasn't asked and hadn't discussed it with my daughter.
The prince's fiancée, a 19-year-old kindergarten teacher, had up to this point been sharing a flat with friends. So when had the prince actually proposed?
Well, I asked Diana before she went to Australia, 2 or 3 days before, because I thought it'd be a good idea that, apart from anything else, if she went to Australia, she could then think about it, and if she didn't like the idea, she could say she didn't, or if she did, she could say that. But in fact, you actually said...
Yes, quite promptly. But it wasn't a difficult decision in the end. That's what I wanted. That's what I want.
It's a tremendous change for someone, if I may say, of 19 to make all of a sudden. Not back to the nursery and not back, not back to flat sharing, presumably.
Nope.
You sort of made a little grimace there as if you rather like flat sharing, and that is something.
No, I was referring to the children. I miss them.
You miss looking after the children.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly miss you, and
I hope so. But I think anyone in the position we've been in would feel pressure and everything. But it's been worthwhile, a bit of it. And next to Prince Charles and I can't go wrong. He's there with me.
And I'm amazed that she's been brave enough to take me on.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Well, it obviously means two very happy people.
As you can see.
Well, from us, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
No detail was too small for a public voracious for news.
It's a rich fruit cake, and every currant, sultana, raisin and cherry was individually inspected.
Wedding presents were arriving thick and fast. Jewels, pianos, even a Hoover. And like any other couple, they struggled with the guest list.
You have to set them out. You have to sort of take a few people out or whatever. It's been quite difficult on my side anyway.
Trying to remember everybody has been an absolute nightmare, hasn't it? And suddenly, I mean, even now, I suddenly remember somebody that I tried hard to remember but didn't.
The challenge of creating the dress had been entrusted to a young British design team, David and Elizabeth Emanuel.
Oh yes, as soon as we knew we had heard on the radio, we opened some champagne in the workroom with all the girls, all the ladies who work for us, who were obviously thrilled with us.
This wedding had scaled new heights of public excitement. 24 hours before the big event, thousands were already in their places.
Lovely atmosphere.
We thought we'd probably do probably champagne in the TV and things.
Come the day, July the 29th, 1981, Britain was fit to burst. They'd chosen to marry across London at St Paul's Cathedral. After months of speculation, the most discussed wedding dress in history was revealed as Diana alighted from the glass coach. Ivory silk taffeta, antique lace, and the veil held in place by the Spencer family tiara. The 25-foot train set a new record. Earl Spencer had recently suffered a stroke, but was determined to walk his daughter up the aisle. At the altar, Prince Charles was waiting.